can help you along with that, and you can download it together. We can download it together. Would anybody like to volunteer?
Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, great. Please share your screen.
Just a second.
And I hope everyone has joined from their laptops, because we'll be doing stuff, so a laptop is required.
Yes.
So firstly, we will check. Yeah. So firstly, we will check if there is Python already installed on your PC or not. So can you please open a command prompt from the search bar?
Just a second.
Yeah. And type py.
Py. That's it?
Yeah. Hit enter. So it shows that the py command is not recognized. This means Python is not there on your PC. So we'll download it. I'll be sharing a link. You all can open that and download it from there. So I've shared a link. You can open that and download the latest version from there. Just hit download Python 10.6. Yeah. Yeah, save.
Okay, I'll have to run it as like. Yeah,
it's not. No.
There.
Yeah, just check the add to part. Yeah, and
the first one on the customized installation. Okay.
Install. Rest of you can do it along with her, so that and if any one of you is stuck, you can just simply ask. So here we are basically creating environment for Python, working with Python. Like currently, as she checked in command prompt, it wasn't there. But after this, we'll be able to build an environment where we can work with Python.
Okay, it's done.
Yeah, it's done. You can close it now. And go to command prompt and type py again. See, we just entered the Python environment, and it shows that the version is 3. I guess it's 10. Yeah. So that's the version of Python that she will be able to use. So after this, we'll download an IDE. Basically, what an IDE is. Integrated development environment. So it basically consists of all the things in one place, all the things required to perform these commands and stuff like that in Python at one place. So currently the best IDE that is available to us is PyCharm. So we'll be downloading that now. Let me share a link. From there you can download that. Yeah, I've shared it on chat. From here, so basically there are two types of IDE versions. One is professional and community. So we'll be using the community one because that one is free, and the other one consists of a lot more features. But for now, we'll be going forward with community. So you can download it. You can asking for parts again.
Yeah.
Okay. You can download it wherever you wish. So apart from IDEs, there are also notebooks like Jupyter Notebook and Collab. We can use those for our coding purposes, but that those sort of things are used majorly in data sciences because in that way we can explain things well. And but major coding part is done on IDEs. I'll be showing you those notebooks afterwards. Uh, I hope everybody is able to reach this point, right? If there's some problem anyone needs to share. So yeah, it's downloaded. You can
Yeah, both of these things are downloaded now.
you can that one was already working. Yeah, so you just open this one. The exe file. Yeah, this one.
The first one?
Yeah. Next. So this is the path where your that. Yeah. If you want
Yeah.
to change it, you can.
No, it's fine for me.
Yeah. Next then. So it's update part. You can just give me a second. So you can simply leave this part and yeah, okay. If you want a shortcut, then you can check that box and you can click next. You can click install.
Palak?
Yeah, is there a voice issue with someone?
No voice issue. I've downloaded PyCharm, but
Yeah.
yeah, when I'm trying to run it, it's showing saying this application doesn't support unzip the file, and I
Can
have
you-
to download the RAR extractor stuff. Any idea?
Can you share your screen?
Okay.
You don't need. Yeah. Okay. Sure. Okay. Sure. You're sharing your screen, right? Yeah. So what's the issue? Um. Can you show which icon did you click for this? You are in yours is Mac, right? You're not audible actually. You can click the hide button. Yeah.
Right.
So,
Yes, it's
can you just cancel it and show what you clicked for opening this?
showing.
Okay, this PyCharm community thing you clicked, right?
Right.
Okay.
When I'm downloading, it's like I have to buy.
Oh no, this is not supposed to be downloaded.
Right.
Can you click on right click on that icon once? Let's see the properties of this.
Okay.
Okay, you are working with Mac. I don't have much idea of that, so let's just try. Okay. EXE Python. Okay, so I guess the one you downloaded was for Windows, and you will have to do it for Mac.
Oh.
That would be probably different.
Okay.
That is fine.
Yeah, it was actually showing 2-3 options, like for Linux and for Mac background, it was having a different installer.
Yeah, so you'll have to do it for Mac.
So shall I share the screen back?
Yeah.
Yeah, is it visible?
Yeah.
So yeah, the setup is complete.
And you can
shall I just run and finish, or?
Yeah, you can do that because we actually have to open that. Confirm and continue. Don't. No. So now our IDE has been opened and we can create any new object, or also we can import our previous object projects like from OpenOption or from VCS version control system. So that is basically GitHub, like a platform where you have all your projects saved on. That's on like internet, not on your local. So from there you can also import your projects. So currently we won't be doing that. We'll be going for a new project. So you can click on new project. You can give any name to the project that you want here. In the top one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. It's the same.
Yeah. So you can click on create button. And
no other options has to be.
If want to change the location, so you can do that, but nothing else is required. So yeah, this is the first page of our project. This is the main.py file as it is written on the top. So in this we can write our code and run that to see how it works. So this part is whatever it's written over there is not actually required, but let me explain what it exactly is. So this line number 13, you can see it's there, if name equals to main. So this is where the flow of the code would start from. So if you run this program, it would simply print PyCharm. Because yeah, hi PyCharm, yeah, exactly. So what it did was, can you just scroll the code a bit downwards? So it said print hi bracket PyCharm, which means print hi is a function over here. So can you please scroll a bit up, like so that that's perfect. So it says def print hi, which means this is the definition of a function. So a function is basically a chunk of code which is executed together. So it basically what this program did was calling a function print hi, and the job of this function was to print the term hi and the name that was passed to this function. Okay, this might be a bit high level for those who are new to coding. But yeah, I just wanted to give you an insight of how things are. So you can currently clear all the things that are here, delete it all, and we can start from the beginning.
Okay.
Not this part, the code. Yeah, you can click Control A. It's all selected, and you can just simply delete. So now our file is clear, and we can start from the beginning. So let's try printing something on the console. So the lower part over here is the console, where we'll be able to see all the outputs that we are trying to have. So you can write print bracket double quotes hello, double quotes hello.
Okay.
Palak.
Yeah.
I'm little behind. I've seen this
Yeah.
part. What application did we open?
So we opened PyCharm.
Okay.
Yeah. We can wait for a while. Let all
Yeah,
be
sure.
together. Have rest of you downloaded it, and is it working for the rest of you?
Yes.
If anyone is stuck, you can simply just call out, and we can help each other. Shaya, just let us know whenever you're done opening that, or you can also share your screen if you're feeling that you're stuck.
Okay.
I guess, Palak, what we can do is, if you are also having the same setup in your system, you can share your screen and show it. It would be
Yeah.
better, I guess, because I might make mistakes and,
Yeah, sure. Now I can work with it. Yeah. The
Yeah.
downloading part is done, so yeah, I should.
So I'm at the part where I have to put my username and password.
Okay, can you once share your screen, because I don't think that is actually required.
Okay, let me check if it's the old one for Windows. Maybe there are two. So let me check one more.
Yeah, sure. No problem. Okay, let me open a new browser.
Palak, one more thing I'd like to say. I guess we are supposed to record the sessions, right?
Yeah, Alok, are you doing that?
It's getting recorded.
Okay.
It'll take a bit of time to create the virtual environment. So yeah, it shows a similar thing over here. So Chaya, just let us know when you're done. Is anybody else facing the similar problem, just like Chaya, or are you all on Windows only?
I think it's better if I share my screen.
Yeah, sure, you can. Okay, so just open. Evaluate. You can do that. Evaluate for free.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't check the second one. It would simply keep disturbing you all the time.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't see this part.
Okay, you can enter your email address, I guess. Continue. Try opening it now, I guess. Yeah.
This one? New
Yeah.
project.
Yeah. Create. No. The rightmost, lowermost button. Blue button. Yes, that's working fine. You can see there are tips. It tend to give some tips for better usage of the IDE. You can try and read in those tips.
Okay.
So,
Okay, I think now it's the same page. You were sharing
Yeah,
earlier.
exactly.
Okay, so we are done.
yeah. So let's now start with the coding part and learning about the code stuff. So let's first try printing some things. Let's run this. This shows, hello, my name is Palak. So basically, this line means printing a string name, which is, hello, my name is Palak. So there are various number of data types. Just like in this one, we are printing a string. A string basically means any English or like any like string. I hope you guys might know. It's like a statement sort of thing. So this is a string.
Character.
Yeah, character. Text, yeah, exactly that. Now let's know about other data types, like let's print 1. So now here we are able to print 1, which is a number, and this type is known as int or integer, you can say. So what this hashtag means is I'm putting a comment over here, and these comments are not executed. They simply are statements for the benefit of the user of the code, or like the developer, we can say, so that we can understand what our code is. There are other data types like float. So float basically are decimal values. They can be of any length. So we are also able to print 9.5, that is a float value.
Palaki, I can see the presentation properly.
Okay, so what is the problem exactly? Like, you can't see my screen.
No, I think I can't read it.
Okay, so
Chai, I might need to change the layout of your screen, like go for pinning that particular
Alright.
presentation.
I thought like Palak has to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, so I hope it's visible
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, it's visible.
Yeah, so the third, we were talking about the third data type, that is float. So these are the decimal numbers. So these are the major data types that are generally required. Also, there are various other data types, but for the beginning part, these are more than enough. And now let's talk about variables. So, for example, let's say a. Let's take a variable a, which is equal to 1. Let's say. So basically, in the memory of our laptop, there would be a slot where the name of that slot would be a, and the value would be 1. So basically, whenever we will try to print a, we'll have the value as 1. So here we can see one difference, that in we can also print a like this, and it would give a. So this is the difference between variable and constant. Variables are always alphabetical names, which are basically variable, as the name suggests. They can be of any value, and constants are predefined values which can't be changed. So this double quotes shows a constant a, that is a string, and this a shows a variable a whose value is 1. So we can differentiate it in that way, and we can also give this variable the value of a string or a float or whatever we wish to give it. After this, let's first talk about the notebooks and things that are there. So there are various types of notebooks. Like let's talk about Jupyter Notebook. If you wish to download it, I can help you with that. Or otherwise, it's absolutely fine. Like I have it on my local PC. So let me show you how it actually is. So this is the documents and stuff on my laptop, and we can create a new notebook from here. So these are so a notebook is basically consists of various cells where you can just write the similar code as we were writing it on PyCharm. So for example, let's say write print hello over here and run this cell. So it would simply print hello like this. And here we can also save our outputs. Like in IDE, if we are working with our code, and once we close the IDE, we won't be able to reload the outputs that we received. But in Jupyter or like any notebook, you can also save your outputs. So that way it is helpful. And similar to this Jupyter Notebook, there is one online tool known as Colab. So yeah, this is basically welcome to Colab 1. We can, it is also a similar tool, like where we can have various cells and we can describe our content, our code, save our output and stuff like that. So as it shows, it is quite helpful in data science because we are able to express our data in graphs and explain it really well. So it is really helpful in that sense. And it is similar to Jupyter Notebook, since we can write code in cells, like let's see over here. You guys can ask any questions if you want to in the meanwhile. So yeah, hello is printed. So it is a similar tool, but the basic difference that I can tell you is that Jupyter Notebook basically works on local host, like here as you can see, which means it is on our local laptop. Like if I'm working on this particular device, this file would be saved only on this device, or you can share it obviously, but it would be saved only on this device. Whereas if you're working with Colab, it is connected to our Google accounts. Like here, I'm connected to this account, and it would be saved on my drive. and in that way I can access this file from any device. Also, there is one another difference. Here, we usually what we do is that we access files from our local laptop only, and we don't usually use it from Drive. But here we can also do it in the sense like we can access files from the Drive or even from our laptop. So that's the basic difference in these two things. And these are very helpful in data science and machine learning stuff. So in that way, we can use that. So now let's talk about more of the coding stuff. So these were the data types. Now let's try building some loops. I hope you guys are able to understand whatever I'm teaching up till now. Are there any doubts anyone would like to ask? Are there any doubts? I hope you guys are able to understand, right? Okay, if there are no doubts. Yeah, that's great. So now let's move ahead. So up till now we were working in the global area, like what a global area and a local area is. For example, if we create a function, as I was talking in the beginning, it starts like this. Def means definition. So here we are defining a function. Let's name it as func1. So curly braces are necessary for the definition. So here they are. This is the basic syntax of how we define a function. So we can, like we were doing this stuff and it was getting printed along with as soon as we ran the code. But now let's define this function and what it would do is print your name. So now we'll try running the code. Okay, so this was an empty string, so it simply printed nothing. So you don't need to worry about that. But you can see print your name is not printed here. The reason being, this would be printed only when we call this function named func1. And this is, there's something over there. Yeah. So yeah, so this is a function, and this part print your name is local to this function. So it would only be executed when we call this function. So now let's call this, try calling this function. Let's see how we can call this function. This way we can simply call this function and it would print your name, as you can see here. So all these lines were global, but this one, this line was local to the function. So it would only be called once the function is called. As you can see, it was printed only when we called the function, right? So yeah. So we can, there are various types of function. Like this one was, this one had no parameters. So what a parameter basically is that in the braces we'll have a name. For example, we can have A as, or let's say, let's take name. So we can print name here. Here basically we are considering name as a variable. So whenever we add parameters, it is basically like we are giving some value. Like here we gave, like initially we gave 1 to this variable. So here we will pass some value. Let's pass my name is Palak, so I'll write Palak, and the word Palak is given to the word this name variable, and now this would print name, my name Palak. So here you can see it this way. So this became a parameterized function. Any doubts up to here? If not, then we can move ahead.
Can you please explain once the global and local variable that you mentioned just before?
Yeah, sure, definitely. So basically what a global and a local variable is, that this one is a global variable. Global variable can be used in like in all this complete file, in whatever function you create, or like whatever there is in this file, you can use this function, this variable over there. So let's create one more function named def2, func2, sorry. And here we'll be printing A. Let's call func2. So it prints 1. Now let's try printing name over here. Or let's first define the word over here, a variable. Let's name it B. If we'll try to print B over here, let's first comment all these above lines so that it's not much of a problem for us. And let's print B over here. Yeah. So you can see there's an error, and it says in line 20 func2, it says print B. B is not defined, which means yeah, in func2 it says B is not defined over here. So which means that we were able to print the variable A but not B. So this variable B is local to the function 1, to this function, and we cannot use this function, this variable outside this function. So it is local to this function, and this variable is global to this file. So we can use it anywhere, like in any function we wish to. So this is the difference between local and global function, or global variable. So let's. So is this clear? Guys, you can ask any doubt if you wish to at any point. You can simply stop me and ask the doubts. So now let's talk about for loops.
Okay, fine. Palak, just a minute, okay?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
guys, let me ask one question. Can you please tell me what is the main use of a function? Why do we define functions? Anyone? क्यों कर रहे हैं? like मेरा क्यों कर रहे हैं? फंक्शन क्यों डिजाइन कर रहे हैं? Anyone?
To develop programs.
Oh, sorry, can you pardon please?
To develop programs.
To do well programs. Well
To
programs.
develop.
To develop programs. Okay. So इसकी meaning क्या है? To develop programs है?
able to use this value in entire program. Afterward we call them.
This value to entire program. मतलब A को बार-बार use करना है, right? Is it so?
Exactly.
No,
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
So if you mean that we can repeat this part anywhere, then that
Then you
is
are right.
correct.
Then you
Yeah.
are right. बट अगर आप ए को स्पेसिफिकली कर रहे हो तो देन इट विल बी रॉन्ग.
So basically, why we define functions is that like sometimes when we code, we tend to repeat a chunk of code a number of times. So instead of repeating that part, we can define a function which can be called again and again whenever it is required. So like I can call this function func1 10 times if I want to, just so that I can print my name and this term, this variable b. So I would not have to write this code 10 times.
Let us see from everywhere.
And that too at different places of the whole file or the whole code. Like here, let's talk about now for loops, which is actually you'll find similar to this creating function, but it is actually very different. Like so, let me talk about for loops, and I'll tell you the difference and the use of the function more after that.
पलक हेलो.
Yeah.
पलक बस एक सेकंड रुक जाओ, ठीक है.
Yeah, sure.
हाँ, जितने हमने टॉपिक्स कवर किए इसमें ना कुछ क्वेश्चन डिजाइन करते हैं.
Okay.
So guys, I am just asking a question, ठीक है. Please try to answer. पहले ये क्वेश्चन लिखो आप. A equal to 5, A equals 5 and B equals, second line में B equals 7.5. फिर थर्ड लाइन में लिखो C equals A plus B. A plus B. Great. And then print C. बस प्रिंट कराना मतलब एग्जीक्यूट मत करना, ठीक है. ग्रेट.
Yeah.
So the question here is that what will be the data type of C, and what is the data type of A, what is the data type of B, and what will be the data type of C. So this is a very basic question here. Survi, would you like to answer?
You can try even if it's
Yes, sir.
हाँ बताओ. A की डेटा टाइप क्या है?
Sir, integer.
चलो ग्रेट. B क्या है?
Sir, float.
और C क्या है?
Sir,
बोलो ट्राई करो.
sir, integer.
इंटीजर. नाइस. लिख दो इंटीजर. ग्रेट. ठीक है. ग्रेट. चलो आपका आंसर आ गया इंटीजर हमारे पास. ठीक है. साक्षी आप बताओ कि क्या होगा हमारा सी का डेटा टाइप.
Float.
फ्लोट. नाइन. चलो एक डिस्क्रिपेंसी तो आ गई हमारी. फ्लोट. ओके. प्रतीक्षा, वुड यू लाइक टू आंसर? कोई थर्ड पॉसिबिलिटी कुछ और है?
Float, sir.
व्हाट?
Float.
float.
फ्लोट.
Float.
Float. Okay. Great. Okay, fine. So I have a very basic question here. What is the difference between a float and a whole number? Or is there a difference between a whole number and integers? चलो एक और क्वेश्चन लिख देते हैं. पलक एक और लिखो. D equals -7. Simple. So what will be the data type of D now? Chaya, would you like to answer?
Yeah, it's a negative number, negative integer.
नेगेटिव इंटीजर. लेकिन कंप्यूटर क्या बताएगा? उसे इंटीजर बताएगा या नेगेटिव इंटीजर बताएगा?
I think integer ही बताएगा.
इंटीजर बताएगा. तो इंटीजर का डोमेन क्या होता है बेसिकली? लाइक व्हाट इज द डोमेन ऑफ इंटीजर्स?
From minus to 0 to positive numbers.
माइनस कहाँ से 0?
नहीं, integers I'm telling you, like negative numbers, then 0, like integers 9, and then positive numbers, all constitutes integers.
So do they consist of decimal numbers also or not?
No.
Great. So it means that minus infinity to 0, minus infinity to plus infinity, but only whole numbers. Am I right?
Oh, yeah, right.
चलो great. पलक, am I right?
Yeah.
चलो great. ठीक है. चलो fine.
Yeah. So let's see the type of C. Yeah. Let me first comment the rest. Yes.
हाँ मतलब लेकिन वैसे तो रियल में इन्फिनिटी होता है ना.
It's a 12.5. So I can also check the type of a variable using the type function. So it says float. Since like we are adding a float and an integer, it would be a float because there is a decimal already there in a float value. So it would give a floating variable.
नाइस. हमने एक और क्वेश्चन लिखते हैं पहले, ठीक है.
Yeah.
लिखो x इक्वल टू आलोक एंड y इक्वल टू आनंद. फाइन, सिंपल. सो व्हाट विल बी द x प्लस y? X plus y, will these two things be able to get added or not? सर वेरी सिंपल क्वेश्चन. जो जब ऐड कर रहे हैं तो ऐड होगा कि नहीं होगा? सही भी आप बताओ. लाइक कैन दीज टू थिंग्स बी एडेड? सही थी. एम आई ऑडिबल? मैडम शी इज नॉट देयर. और प्रतीक्षा, वुड यू लाइक टू ट्राई? लाइक आंसर क्या है हमारे पास?
It will get added, sir.
पार्डन प्लीज.
It will get added.
एडेड आउटपुट क्या आएगा?
String added.
डेटा टाइप नहीं, लाइक आउटपुट होगा क्या बेसिकली? लाइक
Sorry, sir.
so what will be the output? It will be x plus y or it will be Alok Anand?
It will be alone.
Great. See, अब एड भी देखो यार.
Yeah. And also, can you tell me, would there be a space or not?
This is the main question.
No, there will be no space.
Yeah, that's right.
देखते हैं.
So it's spaceless Lokanan because we had this string and this string. So they simply got concatenated, or we can say added.
This I level मैंने
So yeah. This was-
अगर ऐड करूँ.
if we want to add a space separately, we can do another thing, that is x plus a string with this space plus y, and this way we can print a locanon with a space separately. So this way we can concatenate various strings. So, look, is there a need for more questions?
इसका और क्वेश्चन करते हैं, ठीक है.
Yeah.
अब एक और चीज ऐड करते हैं प्लग यहाँ पे. सो नाउ ऐड x plus 10. x plus 10.
Let's
x plus 10. Now Diksha will tell me like what is the output. So Diksha, am I audible to you? Okay, my audio should not there. Chaya, am I audible to you?
Yes, Alok.
हाँ जी बताओ फिर आउटपुट क्या आएगा? Print x plus 10.
Alok 10,
आलोक 10. Nice.
Alok 10.
आलोक 10. Good. देखते क्या आएगा. अभी प्रिंट नहीं करेंगे, ठीक है. साक्षी आप बताओ आउटपुट क्या आएगा? Hello Sakshi. She is also not there, I guess. Pratiksha, are you there?
Yes, sir.
हाँ जी बताओ फिर आउटपुट क्या आएगा?
Maybe add नहीं होगा.
ऐड नहीं हो तो कुछ तो देगा ना आउटपुट. लेकिन कंप्यूटर क्या देगा आउटपुट?
Error देगा शायद. Syntax error.
एरर देगा, सिंटैक्स एरर. ओके ग्रेट. पलक आप बता दो क्या होगा यार. फिर एक्सप्लेन कर दो इसको.
Yeah. So there is an error which says we cannot add a string and an integer. So it needs to be integer and integer, like similar kind of data types can only be added. So here we can only add a string to the variable x. So if we want to want an output alok 10, we need to keep this 10 in double quotes. Only then we'll be able to concatenate it. So here you can see now it is printing allo 10. So it would give an error.
So after this, it would be better if you could continue with the operators in this particular concept. Operators
Yeah.
को complete. For
Yeah.
पहले और operator के बाद we will cover the function with the return.
Okay.
अगर हमने return use नहीं किया तो वो करके और फिर इन
Yeah.
concept से हम आगे बढ़ाते हैं, ठीक है?
Okay, sure. So now let's talk about operators. So would anyone like to tell what are the basic operators? Okay, so there are 4 operators basically. Plus, plus, minus, divide, and multiply. So these are similar to those mathematical operators that we use, and like we can use them on like plus operator can be used also on strings. The rest of them can be used only on integers and floating values. So let's take an example. C equals to, let's take some value first. A equals to 1, B equals to 2. And let's try various operators on this these variables. C equals to A plus B. This will simply add give value of 3 to the variable C. Now let's try the subtraction operator. B is okay. Let's try A minus B. Let's first print this. So it gives 3. So yeah. And in this, we can also, like, since these are variables, we can override the values in them. So by override, I mean like there is some particular value already there given to C, but we can change the value by giving another value. Like since here we were giving it the value of A plus B, but after this statement, the value of C would change. Let's try printing it. So yeah, it gives -1. So the value of the variable C is changed. Now let's try other operators. Now let's try first. Let's first change the value of A. Let's take A to be 4 and we'll take C as A divided by B. So let's try what C comes out to be. So yeah, it comes out to be 2. And here you can see it came out to be a floating value. So there are 2 types of division in Python. One is floating division and one is integer division. So if we use double slash, it would give an integer division value. So here you can see it's an integer. So these are the 2 different types of division in Python. Let's try the multiplication operator. If we try A multiplied by B, we get an output of 8. Let's see. So it gives 8. So we are able to multiply. So these were the basic operators used in Python. So yeah, after this we can let's try building a basic calculator. If we can do that later on, I guess that. Yeah. So now let's move on to. Is there any doubt in this? Anyone? Okay, so let's move on to.
I must see A divided by B. Can you repeat that?
Yeah, sure. So there are basically two types of divisions in Python. One is integer division and one is float division. So, for example, if we divide 4 by 3, so it would give a floating value. So that's why we tend to need float integer floating division a lot. So a single slash means a floating division. Let's write it. And double slash means integer division. So this would give an floating value of 2.0, whereas this operation would give a floating value of 2, simply 2. That is an integer. Let me show you once again. So you can see the difference. So is this clear now?
Yes.
Okay. So let's move ahead to returnable functions. Functions that return value. So would anyone like to try and tell me something like tell me how to create a function? Give me the syntax of creating a function. Would anyone like to do that? Like we'll add the return statements later on. Like, would you help me create a simple function? Would anyone like to do that? Okay, so let me do that. Let's make a function to add two variables. So we'll give the function a name called add. And just like we did above, we'll have two parameters here now, namely A and B. So these are always comma separated whenever we have multiple parameters. And if you want to return, let's take a variable C, which holds the value of A plus B. And now we want this function to simply return the value of A plus B, that is C. So what we'll do is we'll add a statement which says return C. So what the purpose of this function would be now, it would, whenever we'll give two values to this function, it would return a value which is the sum of those two values. Let's try running, calling this function. And print the value of add comma 2. So can anyone tell me what this function, what this statement would return or print? Anyone? Guys, anyone would like to answer this?
3.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. So here it returns 3. So this function is basically returning the value of 1 plus 2. Similarly, we can create functions to do various things like returning. These can also be strings here, for example. Let's write color. Go ahead. So this would now return color. Go ahead. So the this works on different values. Whatever value you'll pass to it, it would return a value which is sum of the two values. In this way, we can create different functions that can return anything you wish. So now let's. So would anyone guide me to create a function that would multiply three numbers? Would anyone help me with that? Sakshi, would you?
Yes. Def
Yeah. Def.
multi in bracket A comma B comma C
A comma B comma C.
colon enter.
Yeah.
T is equal to
Is equal to
A star B star C return T. Enter return T.
That's absolutely correct. One more thing that I would like to tell you, that you can directly return this value. You don't really need an extra variable. You absolutely did it right, but just for a new information, this way you can save some memory in your laptop. So it is always good to do it this way. But yeah, that this sort of code is actually better readable. So even this is good. So these are multiple ways of returning values. So let's print. Let me 1, 2, 3. Let's see what the output is. It gives 6. It multiplies these three values. So this is how the functions work. Now let's move to the for loops.
Hello.
Hello, yeah.
Yeah, Palak, can you tell me in this program what is a global value and what is local value?
Yeah. So what do you think is this C? Like, you can simply tell me whatever you think. It need not be right or wrong.
I think it's local.
Yeah, absolutely. This is local because this is defined in this function. So actually what global and local are is basically the global variables are which are defined in the global region. So global region is the whole, that simply the file, this part is global region. But whenever we move into a block, say here it is the function, it is local to that block. So like in this case, the block is a function. We can have different types of block. Like for example, we'll be learning the for loops. Even those are separate blocks. So like you can recognize a block by the fact, for example, in this, when I press enter over here, it would come to a tabbed area. Like there would be 4 spaces already. So this is inside the block of this function. So whatever is defined inside this function would be local to this function. And whatever is defined outside the function or in this global region would be global and can be used in any function and anywhere in this whole file. But whatever is defined in this particular function can be used only within this function.
Okay.
So all these A, B, C all are local to the function add, and similarly ABC are these ABC are local to this function multi. You cannot use these variables outside these functions separately. Is this better understandable now?
Yeah. Thank you.
No problem. So before for loop, I guess we should go with if and else. So as the name suggests, if and else, these are basically connected statements where we use conditions to execute our code. So for example, let's take if A equals to B. So now here you see, okay, I'll ask that again. A equals to 2, B equals to 3. If A equals to B and correct, else and wrong. So what do you think would be so if else basically means if this condition is true, this part will be executed, else this part will be executed. So what do you think would the result of this if else block would be? Anyone would like to try? Anyone?
Can you repeat the question?
What do you think would be the output of this if else block? This part.
Incorrect will be print.
Can you repeat?
Wrong will be print.
Yeah, that's the answer would be wrong because A is not equal to B. A is equal to 2 and B is equal to 3. So this part would be printed. So the answer is wrong. So there is one thing over here, like in this statement, we use a single equals, whereas here we use double equals. So can anyone think of the difference between the two? Can anyone try figuring out what the difference is there in these two operators? Would anyone like to try?
Single equal to is for assigning the variable and double equal to is for comparing two variables.
Yeah, exactly. So this is the assignment operator. And this is for comparison. So this was about if-else statements. Here the conditions can be otherwise as well, like we can take less than equal to, which means if A is less or equal to B, it would execute this part, else it would execute this part. So similarly, we can have various other conditions over here. Also, there is if-else statement. Let's take it as A less than B, A equals to B, or else. So these in this case we'll be able to check three conditions, that is if A is less than B or equal to B or greater than b, or we can say it as the default case. So we can similarly in this way we can have various conditions that can be checked and executed in treated in different ways. So here the answer would be in this part. Since a is 2 and b is 3, we'll get the answer to be correct. So as you can see, it's correct. If we'll change the value to 3, it would give equal this part. And if we change the value to 4, it would take us to the last block of this if else statement. So that was about if else. Now let's move to for loop. So just like we were talking above, that we tend to repeat code multiple times. So instead of writing the code again and again, we tend to use functions. But sometimes writing, when we need to print the same thing 10 times, for example, our function was func1, right? It was, let's use the function 2. Let's take this. So this function we'll be using. If we want to print, use the function 10 times at the same place. Let's use it 3 times for now. It is cumbersome to write it 10 times if it is cumbersome to write it 3 times. So obviously it would be hard for us to write it again and again. And plus we tend to use it if we need to write it 100 times. So it would be really hard, right? So instead of doing that, we simply use the for loops. So this would simply print, call the function 2 10 times. It is printed 10 times. Okay, so this way we don't really need to repeat even this much code. So let's talk about the syntax of this for loop. So here we wrote for I in range 10. So this basically means we have a variable named I, which would be repeated 10, which would be incremented 10 times. So let's try printing I in this for loop, what it moves like. So here it is 0 indexed, which basically means it starts from 0. The I variable is initialized from 0. And while it is in the range of the number 10, it would keep on increasing. So you can see it is increasing from 0 to 1, 2, 3 until 9. So the last number that is 10 is not taken into consideration because we already received 10 numbers, that including 0. But if you want to change the indexing from 0 to 1, we can simply write it this way. In this way, it would count from 0 to 10. Let's run this. Okay, so the last one is always not included, so that's why it gave it till 9. If you want to include 10, we simply need to write it till 11. So this way, we were able to write numbers from 1 to 10. Also, if we want to skip alternate numbers, what we can do is add another parameter to this range function. That is, this would basically mean, it means step. So here you can see the basic parameters of this range functions are start, which is an integer, stop, which is also an integer, and the last one is step. So basically, this one means the starting point of the counting or the value for this variable. This defines the the stop point, and this defines how the increment go on. So let's see. So you can see here it is incremented by 2 every time. So since we took 2 as our steps, so that way we were able to increment the variable I by 2 every time. So this is about the for loops. We can also take variables in over here, or the various other things. Like for example, let's if we want to print a string, let's say, let's take a name, or let's take some other variable, say q, which is equal to hello, and we want to see. So let's also talk about the function length. These are various basic functions that we use while performing coding in Python. Length of q basically would give out the value of the length of this variable q, that is equal to 5. So we can, in this way, we can dynamically use the variable q. Like if we want to print I up till the length of q, so we can use it this way. So you can see the length was 5. So it took the value of the length of this variable and used it for the range. Okay. So also, so this was about for loop. Any doubts over here or any queries? Something you want to share? Anything? Okay, if not, then we can move ahead. We can also talk about arrays now. So what arrays basically are, like up till now we were talking about single variables, right? So array basically holds multiple variables together. So let's take, in this arrays are basically lists. So we can take a list as list of variables, like where we can have various variables. Let's take hello as one variable, my as another, name as the third variable, is as a fourth, and Palak as the last variable. So this is a list of variables where we have 5 variables in total. So the length of this array would be equal to 5. Let's see if it is 5 or not. Okay, I'm sorry. Just a second, why is it not writing? Let's try some other name. I don't know why it's not printing. Okay, I don't really know why it is not printing. I'll get back to you guys about this later on in the next class. Uh, so, so this is one type of, yeah. Hello, yeah.
वो might be इसलिए नहीं काम कर रहा होगा because एक second तो okay fine so first we define this particular क्या कहते हैं Python इसको आपको स्क्वायर
Okay, I guess
स्क्वायर ब्रैकेट
square. Okay.
लिस्ट हटा दो और लिस्ट हटा दो लिस्ट
Yeah, sure. I guess this is also another way, but I guess this was a bit different. So yeah, this way also we can define a list.
that doesn't work in Python.
Okay, maybe that somewhere else. I'm sorry, my bad. So yeah, now it prints 5. That is the length of this list. So this is a way of finding a list with. I guess the way I was defining it was wrong with parameters. I guess it would should have been without parameters. If I'm not wrong. I'll get back to you about that in the next class for sure. Yeah.
That is double column.
You're not actually audible. Can you please be a bit louder?
Am I audible?
Yeah. No, you are.
Instead of square bracket, 2 times the round bracket is prepared in start point and end point. It will work.
Here,
Yeah, 2 times curly round bracket.
let's see. That will. Okay, great. This is also a way.
Yeah.
So this was how we defined this. There are also dictionaries. Let's take a dictionary. So dictionary are basically defined by curly braces, and what a dictionary is, it is a sort of list where we save keys and values. So basically, it is mapping over here. So let's take the first key as 1 and the first value as hello. So this way, dictionary would help to keep the values and the keys simultaneously. Like here, we can access the values only using numbers. For example, we'll use a for loop. Let I, let's use the variable I in range length of this list, and let's print the individual variables separately. The list of the every variable in the list would be printed separately in this way. So let's run this. So you can see hello, my name is Palak is printed. So what this part of the code is doing is actually it is incrementing the value of I, right? So initially when I is 0, it would print the 0th, the variable that is there on the 0th position of this list. So that is hello. So hello is printed, and after that when I changes to 1, it would print my, and so on. So this basically does that, because as I told above, I is there in the range of this value, and here this value is length of hello list, and as we printed that it was 5. So this way we can print the values in this list. Similarly, and like here we had only this number to access the values at the different positions in this list. But what if we have string? We want strings instead. Like for example, let's take Palak and let's take pizza. I like pizza, so let's take that. We can take some other things and other people. Let's say Alok likes burger. So in this way, if you want to know what Palak likes, we can simply print dictionary. So this way it would print pizza. So this is how we can simply access different values when we also have the key. So yeah, any doubts over here? Any questions or queries? Look, I guess we are almost at time, so I guess that would be it for today. If there are any questions from you guys, you can ask, or something that you want to discuss. So I guess that was it for today from my side. Over to you, Alok. Alok, are you there? I guess he's not there. Just give me a moment. Okay, so we can close for today, I guess. If you guys want to reach me out, you can simply text on the group, or if you want anything regarding the today's class and stuff like that, you can reach out to me on the group. Thank you so much for joining. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Palak.
Thank you.
So tomorrow also it will be same time, 7 to 9?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you guys have any doubt, I'm still waiting. You can leave if you don't have any doubts.
So Palak, the mantra to get expertise in Python is, I think, just practice.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Like you can simply take up projects for yourself, and you can simply search and make mistakes and learn from that. So it's all about learning from mistakes. At least for me, it has been that way.
Okay. Thank you.
And you can reach out to me anytime you wish.
Sure. Thank you, Palak.
So, yeah. Bye, everyone.
Bye.